This is a presentation of the Badlands Media Network.
Good Lord. I'm testing the system out and waiting to see what y'all are seeing. I am live, I see that, but my screen is saying remove, and I don't want to remove. Good God Almighty. You can see me? I can't see me on the screen, and that is yet another curveball. You can hear me and you can see me. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. I think maybe I forgot to take off the, what did I forget to do? This. Okay, good God Almighty. Oh, when will it end? You know, when will it end? When will it end? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 9th, 2023. And believe it or not, this is episode 82 of the Ralligator Report. And I seem to find a new way to trip myself up every morning. And I just have to laugh. I just have to laugh and take a sip of coffee. I know I've been probably cussing too much on the show, and so I'm just, I'm happy. I don't think I went into quite a riff. I can cuss my ass off, and when I get lost in thought and something happens like that, I will often say some really, really choice things. But I don't think I did that this morning, right? So it's a very eventful week. Today is, of course, May 9th. Russia celebrates this as Victory Day. I watched on German public TV via their YouTube channel. I watched Putin's speech this morning. It's about 10 minutes long. I'm debating whether I want to play it for y'all. It has English subtitles. It's translated into English, but I don't know. So let me just take a step back and take a quick look at the chat and settle myself a little bit. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. We're under siege 1. Yeah. China bought the Biden family. You know, what's the penalty for treason? You know, this is still one of those open questions. This is one reason why I wanted to put the Dawson S. Field stuff out there yesterday. Because, yeah, 5149, what's the truth here? They either have or they haven't been participating in a sting. I tend to doubt it, but I also think some of it just doesn't add up to me. Hunter Biden, crack addict, it just doesn't add up to me. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Crack addict, teeth, all this other kind of stuff, and you know, you see him now, and it doesn't add up to me. I'm very suspicious of the narrative. Darth Cajun. If anyone can help with the screen, it is good God Almighty. Yes. They have stolen 2 elections in our face and likely more. I'm there. Outstanding grace under pressure. No, no, no. I have, I think I will put, oh boy, I did it again. I put it in the wrong, Anyway, I have a link. Let me email it to myself and then I can put it in the chat. I think once before on here, I put out a document I had created and gave y'all a link if you wanted it to try and pull it down from Dropbox. I have another one of those, and we never got back to that subject. It is still my intention to absolutely get back to that artificial intelligence subject, but there's no rush. And in fact, speaking of rush, this linked document I created involves Rush Limbaugh, and it's an October 2005 piece he wrote in the Wall Street Journal that intrigued me. And it intrigued me because in 2004 is when I officially made the switch from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, registered as a Republican, and said, okay, I have to give these people every benefit of the doubt if I'm going to be a serious member of this party, and knowing that I've come from the other direction. So how do I give them every benefit of the doubt? Well, I need to see who some of them are in terms of thought leaders, and what's the logic behind their position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's what I did, and that is what led me to an appreciation for W and why I've defended W, and why I now see, how I've been manipulated, like everybody else, join the party. But let me go ahead and get this link into the chat. And then I think I'll pull up the document. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on it. I just want you to see it, and then talk about where I was coming from on it. And maybe tomorrow or later in the week, we can get back to it and talk about it. It's just a quirk on how I tried to ease into the Republican Party. And we're all uniquely different in our own way. And let me see if this works. It looks like it got in there. All right, that's the link to the document. You can save it if you're interested. You can save it to your computer or come back to it or whatever, email it. But let me try and share the screen. I think I did bring the document up. First, I'll show you the Wall Street Journal article. If you've got a subscription, it's still there. And the title, this is the title: A Crackdown, Not a Crack Up. And, they really were hammering Republicans. The Democrats were just desperately trying to say, man, Republicans hate each other. There's no unity. There's all this, there's all that. And, Rush put out a pretty interesting column. I thought it was very good. Like so much of what Rush did, he engaged the battle. He may not have engaged the battle in the fashion you wanted, but he engaged the battle in a forum that they controlled. And so That's the article, October 17, 2005. Again, if you've got a Wayback Machine or some hack where you can go find this, that's the full piece. I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and then I have to go find, I hope, the document. Yeah. Now let me see if I can manage this. I'm not really swift on this mess yet, but and you know this laptop. Let me not bitch and moan about the damn laptop. But let's see if I can pull off this. I gotta find it, and I think I can. What's that thing? I think I can. I know I can. Oh man, window, not a tab, window. Yeah, I don't see it. Hmm. Hmm. Might have outsmarted myself. Not hard to do. Definitely not hard to do. Where is that Word document? Uh, yeah, I think this is it. Let me go on a wing and a prayer. Y'all hang tight. Yeah, it's not letting me even. I'm looking at myself on the screen over there, confused as hell. Again, I do love laughing at myself. Mm. I can do the window. Nope. Give it up. 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 Anywho, I will just tell you, since you can't see it, and we'll talk about it later. It's a document. Oh, you know what? I think I could see it. I just didn't realize that was it. One more shot. One more shot. That's it. Now, now I have to wait to see if y'all can see what I see. And uh, do I have to wait to see if y'all can see what I see? Oh, hell no. That ain't what I want. Oh, hell no. Yeah, let me stop sharing. What a. Woo. Okay, forgive me. Um, I do have to stop trying this on the job training with this technology that my laptop confuses me. I don't like the way it does what it does. It's not intuitive. And anyway, the document is Rush Limbaugh's challenge, in my estimation, for Badlands Media. Because what he did is he gave something of an overview on what we believe as conservatives and members of the Republican Party and what we support. And that's 2005. And what I thought was fascinating was it's almost a 20-year gap between when this was written, and so much was different then. So much was different that I thought, you know, and I actually contemplated doing this or talking to people out there at GART. I just wasn't sure how GART was going to go, what kind of interaction content creators were going to have, casual interaction, and whether it might fit as part of the discussion. But I created a grid, and I walked through Rush's broad formulations from 2005 on what we believe in and what we support. And then I wondered, I created a column for Badlands media formulation on that, exact same points itemized, and a third column saying if a particular formulation is not possible or advisable, why not? I'm talking about in terms of Badlands media. We have tremendous diversity, but we do have some fundamental, for the most part, some fundamental beliefs. And I don't even know that you can do this. It might be something entirely personal, best suited for entirely personal. That's why I put the link in there in case anybody wants to download it and think about it and maybe even have something drawn up themselves. This might be a participatory type conversation over the next, what, maybe we do it Thursday. I don't know. But anyway, that's what it is. And here's what Rush said we believe in. This was 2005. We believe in individual liberty, limited government, capitalism, the rule of law, faith, a colorblind society, and national security. We support school choice, enterprise zones, tax cuts, welfare reform, faith-based initiatives, political speech, homeowner rights, and the war on terrorism. And he also said, and at our core, we embrace and celebrate the most magnificent governing document ever ratified by any nation, the United States Constitution, along with the Declaration of Independence, which recognizes our God-given natural right to be free. It is the foundation on which our government is built and has enabled us to flourish as a people. Now, what do y'all think about that? I was really impressed as somebody brand new in the Republican Party. I was really impressed with that, and I said, I got to save this. I got to save this and refer back to it because, of course, in my circle, there was a lot of comment on, wait a minute, what? You did what? You actually going to vote for who? So it was something of a conversation piece, as part of a defense of my decision. Why it made sense, why you can take issue with different things Republicans are doing, thinking, have done, etc. But this is basically where the base is coming from. That was what was impressive to me. So let me stop for a minute and take a quick look at the chat. I am very curious what y'all think about that. People need to step away from the computers. I bought a damn laptop, and I am not technophobic in the slightest, quite the opposite. But this damn Acer laptop just does not agree with me in terms of the presentation. It's not intuitive. Things that should be simple. Okay, anyway, I'm sure it's me. I'm sure it's me, and I'm 60 plus, and yeah, it's only going to get worse from here, perhaps. Because man, technology is really racing forward now, and I say I'm not technophobic, and I do try to alert people at what I see, just tremendous changes coming that are inevitable. But I do have to admit, yeah, I'm way behind in the chat, and I do want to, okay, there's my link. AI has been used against us for years. I watch YouTube videos, I'm telling you, and it's like I've known for years now, something's off here. That person is not real. That voice something's off. And there are a plethora of channels now actually on the Ukraine situation, the Russian war, all of that stuff. There's a bunch of AI on YouTube. Yeah, it's a Word document. Yeah, Maggie, I love meeting you too. I really had hoped to get up. We were supposed to go have you, me, and Dina, right? And time got away from me. Most people. Well, this is the thing, O'Brien. Um, we all, and it's yet to fully be fleshed out. Okay, we all um, have been subjected to certain propaganda. The war on terror. And listen, I'm gonna tell you now, I have a minority opinion even on that war on terror, and people trash the Bushes, and I'm not so. I'm not so. There was an element that I was fully supportive of, and walking away from that in the interaction we had with certain populations, etc. Uh, in Iraq, in Afghanistan. It's almost like Bitcoin. If you take a long term view, and I'm talking multiple decade view, it has a different feel. And we can build on those interactions that we made. I'm talking from a military standpoint. We can build on those interactions we had, the skill set that was developed. It was not just a disaster. That is absolutely not what it was. But not loud enough, probably because I'm getting too far away from the microphone. Maggie, hard date. Yeah, what's the problem? What's the problem? It's all good. Okay, let me move on from there. Don Serber, I'm actually, let me do my advertisement before I get off track. I'm at that 20-minute mark, and I need to stay on the good foot. So let me get that out of the way, and then we can come back to Don Serber. Okay. Y'all I'm having a lot of dead space, and I know y'all are being kind this morning. I am a little bit out of sorts. I was really idiotic yesterday. I ate a tremendously bad mix of food that I knew was going to be a problem, and I'm a hard-headed boy. I went ahead and ate the crap, and I paid for it. But okay. First ad. Over the last few months, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard quite a bit about spike protein, no doubt. And the truth is that when the mask mandates and shutdowns are little more than a distant memory, the legacy of COVID and the COVID-19 vaccines will continue to plague us in the form of spike protein. That's where the wellness company Spike Support Formula can help. Whether you have been vaccinated or not, spike protein is something you should be concerned about. But the good news is that the wellness company has seen some really exciting research on how to best combat spike protein. Studies have shown that nattokinase and dandelion root extract are showing great potential in protecting you and your family from spike protein. Dr. Peter McCullough and the team at the Wellness Company have the only product on the market, Spike Support, that contains both nattokinase and dandelion root extract, as well as black sativa extract, green tea extract, and Irish sea moss. Go to spikedefend.com to order Spike Support today and use promo code Badlands for 10% off. That's spikedefend.com, promo code Badlands. And next up, our good friend, the one and only Kirk Elliott.
Silicon Valley Bank debacle demonstrated just how fragile our banking system can be. We don't know what the future holds, but history has shown us that physical gold and silver are a reliable store of value to protect your wealth. Don't let fear of the unknown paralyze you. Take the first step towards securing your financial future. Reach out to Kirk and his team at kirkelliottphd.com/badlands. That's kirkelliottphd.com/badlands.
You can find a lot of material out on the web via YouTube or wherever talking about the banks and what's going on, controlled demolitions, all sorts of problems. I had wanted to sit down and go back to some of, oh my goodness, what is the guy at Conservative Treehouse? Sundance. He did some really good stuff on Main Street versus Wall Street, and I think it's applicable on the bank issue, metals, risk, all of that stuff fits within the milieu of what the heck is happening now around the globe. And that fits within any consultation you might have with someone like Kirk Elliott. All right. I want to get back in here and everyone wants to close. Dina's in a very, it's like, wow, do we need to have Dina on at some point, or some people in the industry? It has to be a fascinating time. I think people are probably freaking out. Yeah, and Dina is pretty much indicating that, yeah. Yeah, true, Bobcat Ready. I am eventually going to create video that I can just click, and other people in the network are doing that. I've just been lazy. Maggie, I think E-Verify is a tricky, just off the top of my head, it's a tricky situation. I've said to people, that, listen, I hear you on the deportation, but I want you to just think through in your own mind. Again, from a military context, what was it I heard? And it's just a truism. Amateurs talk about military tactics and professionals talk about logistics. People can talk all kinds of yang. Logistics dictates so much. Damn what you think. Logistics dictates so much. And people are sitting around here casually talking about putting millions of people on planes. I think we're going to have a process, and I think we have to be very careful with the E-Verify in terms of how we allow people who we know are our adversaries to gum up stuff and create issues for us. I just think we have to be very careful. But I think we're going to have a process where if somebody can demonstrate you are a productive, working member of this society, you're in better shape. If you can't show you're a productive working member of this society and you have been leeching off the welfare state, your ass is in trouble. And I think we're going to start there. I just don't know. I'm just telling you. That's what I see. But it's such a convoluted, difficult situation. And, they talk about all these thousands who are crossing the border. And I just like, is that actually happening? Can I believe that? Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're doing this stuff with Mexico. and I'm talking about the USMCA, the new agreement where the North American element, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, is going to be interacting with each other in a trade bloc, the biggest and best on the planet. And we're working cooperatively with Mexico. And you see, Elon is about to build this humongous plant in Mexico. We're onshoring so much manufacturing that's going to integrate back into the American commercial sphere, and maybe utilizing Canada and Mexico too. But hundreds of thousands of people are traipsing through Mexico to get to the American border. Some things aren't adding up in my mind. Just some things aren't adding up. But some things are just not, it's just so confusing. And, you know, you just have to give in to the confusion. Again, this is the thing about Dawson S. Field and tomorrow. You know, the congressional hearings. And it's like, okay, this is fakery. Is this real? Are we going to have some type of exposure? Or is this going to be just some more bumping of the gums? And I have my doubts. I have my doubts. And now, because I'm mad at the laptop, I have my doubts on how I want to go forward with some of these other little component pieces. It's like, okay, this is a disaster of a show right now. And yeah, I will say this. Okay, obsessing on Don Server. I hope some of you have gone and checked him out. His last two columns, I just want to expose to you why I like this man so much and why his product is so damn good. I think I remember how to do this. Yeah. So here's the share. And his column from yesterday, Jeff Bezos' Washington Post is upset that Republican does what Biden did. And he just skewers the foolishness. You know, of course, we're talking about Barack and Michelle's little mansion, Martha's Vineyard, and Ron DeSantis making a master move and sending people up that way. So this is how he started out. 8 months ago, Florida shipped 50 illegal aliens to Martha's Vineyard. The Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, is literally shaking even today. On Friday, the Bezos Post ran a 4,000-word Pulitzer-seeking hit piece on Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, based on the newspaper's butthurt over Martha's Vineyard. The piece began, the mission was a tightly held secret as two agents from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement traveled to a remote Texas town hundreds of miles away on the U.S. border. They worked for a statewide police agency charged with protecting the governor and investigating major crimes. But last summer, they were enlisted in a highly unusual effort, laying the groundwork for a politically charged operation ordered by Governor Ron DeSantis to fly border crossers from San Antonio to the liberal haven of Martha's Vineyard. Not mentioned in the story was Texas suffering from an invasion of millions of illegal aliens, surely several times the 1.6 million illegal cited in 2019. Now, he went on, he walked through it, he talked about what DeSantis did and how similar it was to what the hell they are doing by, in the cover of dark, settling all of these aliens around the country. And it's A-okay, no problems, no issues. But somehow a Republican governor does the exact same thing and somehow it's some major crime. That is nonsense. Okay, the next one is today's article. I don't know if I had to do that. Wow. Yeah, there it is. Another thing they pump incessantly, which just drives me crazy. I've told you racism isn't a thing. White supremacy is not a thing. They just keep working this and working it as word warfare, and they turn it into policy. But this is the thing where they're talking about Mauricio Garcia, 33, shot and killed 7 people and wounded 7 more at a mall in Texas. Cop then killed Garcia. Philip Bump of the Washington Post, which is of course owned by Jeff Bezos, blamed white supremacy. His proof was a patch the accused wore, which had the initials RWDS on it. But the square facts did not fit the round narrative, so Bump hammered them in. Bump white-splained, and I do love that, white-splaining, These people going on and on and on about white supremacy take a supremacist position that they can tell you what's the real deal and that your black ass doesn't understand. You're just not smart enough to understand. Let me explain it to you. Okay. For many people, this idea triggered an immediate negative reaction. How could someone with the name Mauricio Garcia, a Hispanic name, be a white supremacist? In some quarters, that the Post was offering such a possibility was somehow demonstrative of this newspaper's purported interest in elevating unsupported racial claims. In reality, the idea that someone named Garcia might be sympathetic to white supremacist views is unexpected, but not inexplicable. The Post has previously explored the ways in which non-white Americans, at times, ally with extremists who would seem to be their natural enemies. But the point can be made succinctly by considering 2 things. White is not as hard and fast a racial category as many assume, and white supremacy is about power as much as it is about race. This is the thing, okay? This is the thing, how they do their dance. It's an upside down world, and they do not respect logic. They do not give a damn about logic. They just want to tell you what the hell is what and demand that you accept it. They can do no wrong. Their way is the only way. And, I'm not going to keep reading. I just wanted to show you. Don really does a great job. It just upsets me so, and I'm going to start cussing if I keep reading that. What these people do, and I don't want to go back to the Malcolm X piece on white Northeastern liberals being the greatest problem we have. I do believe that. I have always believed that. While being a Democrat, I saw quite a bit of evidence of that. It's just maddening. And they do take their cues, in my estimation, from European leftists. This is why I have such contempt for Russians. Russians have worked this game beautifully. They've infected so much of the European left wing with their foolishness. This morning, Vladimir Putin's ass is sitting up there talking about Nazis in Ukraine. There are not Nazis in Ukraine. That is foolishness. And unfortunately, many people in our country have accepted that foolishness. It's a Russian propaganda point. Period. So much of this foolishness that we're having to deal with. And the maddening thing for me, because we have these combatants in this information war, teams and factions, and everything gets conflated. People start talking about what the United States is doing, and really it's this, oh man, these nodes of control within the United States government. It is frustrating as all get out. to me, because how do we navigate? And this is the thing about why I just am so content to step back and let these competent professionals do their job and keep the faith, get involved in local action, and absolutely positively vote. Things are too confusing on the battlefield to be able to have a comfortable narrative and get out there and step out on a limb. But that is part of the goal. You can't know up from down, left from right. You find yourself questioning, well, who built the Berlin Wall? I mean, just what? And so here we are. You question so much, but clarity is coming. I am 100% positive of that. But it could very well be years in the making. I read Joe Lang on Telegram, largely agree with Joe. And I just don't know, however, that, Joe seems to be, the reset is going to be all about gold, metals, gold and silver, whatever. I fully believe it's going to be about Bitcoin. And I continue to look at Jason P. Lowry. I did want to do a walkthrough today, but I think I'm going to do it tomorrow, especially given how disastrous this the beginning of this show has been. But I'm frustrated. I think y'all can see. Yes, Jum, it was Rush. And, again, that little one big ass mistake, America, Obama, one big ass mistake, America, and he's still doing his stuff. And Michelle may very well be who they have in the wings. And this is the problem. Of course, that's what we've had. We've had these family dynasties. This is another reason why I'm just not interested in RFK Jr. Not interested. Bush, Kennedy, whomever, Biden. Tired of all of that. The country is far too great and far too talented for that kind of stuff. Trump will be on CNN tomorrow night. Yes, I think it is going to be a must watch. What's going to happen in the Congress earlier in the day? What may happen around the globe that day? Yeah, Eurythmic, I agree. I don't think 45 is going to be talking so much about that. He has a bigger, broader message. Yeah, Maggie, that is the thing. The thing that frustrates these, I hesitate to get color coded, but the thing that frustrates these white liberals so freaking much is they look at you and they tell you this is how you should be voting. Why aren't you voting this way? It just frustrates the hell out of them that you're not voting this way. And the Hispanics have proven that is a nonsense orientation. They are not going to vote for you. These Hispanics coming into this country, by and large, are faith-based, and they look at a guy prancing his ass around like he's a woman, and we're supposed to champion that. They have no respect for that. None. And I keep wondering, when is it? What is it going to be for Black America to just admit the truth of the matter? Because trust me, Black Americans are sick of that craziness too. And people have just kind of made them cowards in terms of speaking the truth. But a point has to be coming where en masse, people just say, that's it. That's it. That's it. Really, to me, it should have happened long ago. Jason Whitlock has been doing a good job of exposing what we've accepted in the Black community, pastors included. Some of it, people trying to not be disagreeable. This is something the left is taking advantage of big time. The don't be evil thing, don't be this. And they've kind of framed it in such a way that you talk about these phobias. I was very interested to hear Vladimir Putin this morning in his speech. He's talking about Russophobia. And it's like, this is their thing. This is what they've laid out there. This kind of confusion is exactly what they wanted. And too many people are giving it to them. It's like, can't you see what they are doing? But, people can't. People can't. I saw this guy on Lex Friedman, David Pakman or something like that. Drove me freaking crazy. Drove me freaking crazy listening to this guy. Okay, let me check a block, do some ads, and get ready to close out the show. Yeah. I'm still intrigued by this no bugs beef stuff. I gotta admit, kind of intrigued. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome another new advertiser to our platform, nobugsbeef.com. Let's face the facts. America's supply chain is going to be increasingly disrupted in the coming months, which means it's not if we'll have a food shortage, it's when. Having enough protein to feed your family for several months is essential for your survival. That's why we've partnered with nobugsbeef.com. They provide sous vide, freeze-dried, all-American beef from ranches in Texas that have never, ever given their cows an mRNA jab. The beef, stored in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for maximum shelf life, will stay shelf stable for more than 10 years without refrigeration and with maximum nutrition and flavor. All you need to do is soak it in water for 15 minutes and it's ready to eat. These are not typical survival meats. They're premium cuts of ribeye, New York strip, tenderloins, sirloin, and chuck. Get your family ready for the chaos at nobugsbeef.com and use the promo code BADLANDS for an additional 10% off your order. That's nobugsbeef.com, promo code BADLANDS. And just a quick reminder, please check out Badlands Marketplace on badlandsmedia.tv. This is the place where you'll find nobugsbeef.com and a growing number of America First businesses listed. Help build our parallel economy by shopping America First. And via video, Benson Honey.
Benson Honey Farms delivers raw honey straight from the hive to your table. It is their mission to provide you the best raw honey at the lowest prices possible. By not pasteurizing, overheating, or filtering their honey, Benson Honey Farms ensures that all of its natural pollen and enzymes stay in the honey for maximum health benefits. So cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Visit BensonHoneyFarms.com and use the rep code BADLANDS to place your order today. That's BensonHoneyFarms.com, rep code BADLANDS.
I have to tell you, and you know, Diana and some others may get mad at me, but I saw a very interesting video. This woman called herself what, the glucose goddess? I mean, she's been on YouTube on a range of different channels, and she has these hacks, these ways in which you can reduce the glucose spike. And this is the damaging thing. Your body machine gets damaged when the glucose goes to a certain level on a spike. But if you can mitigate it, your body has a way of processing things so that the effect is not so bad. And her approach was, hey, you can eat pretty much what you want. You do need to modify your diet in the direction of more healthy. But if you still continue to eat what you have eaten, you at the very least must mitigate the effects through these hacks. And, you know, some basic stuff, fairly basic anyway. And it made a certain amount of sense to me, of course, because it meant, wow, maybe I don't have to give up sugar. And I recognize the danger. I recognize that I probably am still going to do my June give up sugar month just to see the impact. But I'm also now in May going to attempt to do some of this modification, take my readings at the end of May, see if it has had some positive effect before I do the June no sugar, and then we'll see what July brings. Okay. All of that's tied in my estimation, you know, better health, better thinking, better able to deal with frustration. Yeah, the View, We Are Under Siege one. I texted something to somebody the other day on Twitter. The very second that you accept the idea of racism, you're in deep logical trouble that gives them a playground of foolishness, and that's what you see on The View. Because people have just accepted this racism thing, and it's almost like quicksand. There's no getting out once you accept this racism thing. It gives them so much room to play stupidity. They just play stupidity. Yeah, they know. MS-13 and the cartels, they know. Yeah, We Are Under Siege one. Do not believe what you've been told about this Azov battalion, especially not this Nazi nonsense. Don't believe any of that crap. That is Russian propaganda, 100%. The fact that people have bought into this still amazes me. It just amazes me. Do you not know what the Polish people suffered under the Nazis? You think the Polish people have signed off on Nazis? This is craziness. You think the Baltic people have signed off on Nazis? They're afraid of the bear for damn good reason, because the bear is real, the Nazis aren't. It just drives me crazy. Stop talking about Nazis. It is the same thing as these people here saying, I'm a freaking Nazi because I'm rolling with these Republicans. And you know they say that. I'm a freaking white supremacist because I'm rolling with these damn Republicans. Don't you understand that? It's the same damn thing. Democrats all across the South, every election cycle would pull out this KKK crap. Ain't nobody seen a damn Klansman in decades. But you're always reading about KKK. It's the same damn thing with these so-called Nazis in Ukraine. It's nonsense. There are not Nazis in Ukraine. There are not. You just need to. I tell you this, you would benefit if you just accept what I'm saying as a thought experiment. Okay? Just as a thought experiment. What if it's all Russian propaganda? It explains a lot. They're not in the United States. Soros has brought all these anti-fascists, Antifa. Okay? Again, do you think these globalists are not competing? Really? Do you think they're not competing with different little factions? Some favor the Russians, some favor the Chinese, some favor the democratic socialists of Europe. I put them all in the same damn bag. They don't give a damn about we the people. But you better be very concerned if you are aping the propaganda of the Russians. I'm just telling you. Be very concerned. There are not Nazis in Ukraine. We shall see how this plays out. There are not. Vito, you've seen plenty of photos, and again, good God Almighty, the easiest thing to fake on the internet today are photos. Videos, easy to fake. This is the information war that's being fought, and you know, they're just fooling so many people with an inability to discern. Just logically think, how in the hell would all these Nazis have been generated in Ukraine? How? It just all of a sudden came to Russia's attention. What? Have you not seen how overbearing the Russians have been with the Ukrainian people, telling them, hey man, you're really Russian, you just forgot? Any damn body who can tell a people who they forced famines on, you do understand that history, right? Russian forced famines on the Ukrainian people. They just told them, hey man, you just forgot that you're Russian. And then, you know what, America? There are all these Nazis in Ukraine. Bullshit. 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 Don't give me any photos. Don't give me any videos. I don't want to see any Confederate flags on these so-called Nazis. It's a clue to you that this is bullshit. Nancy Patriot, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's been that kind of show. It's been that kind of show. Yeah, it's been that kind of show. And I apologize. Yeah, very, very frustrated. Too frustrated. And what can I say? What can I say? I will be very happy to be wrong on this topic as long as we prevail and we get back to normality. I'm not invested in the thing. I just am so, people are not questioning what they are being presented with and accept these images and these videos, and you know they can manipulate them so easily now. It's like beating your head against the wall. People have just bought this narrative 100% hook, line, and sinker. And that disturbs me, even while I admit it may ultimately prove out to be that I bought a narrative that was false. Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will sign off today with a very healthy later, Gator. And I hope y'all will join me tomorrow morning when hopefully we will have a much more structured program. Okay? Later, Gators.